Sure.
Oh, wrong button. And good morning.
And good morning.
I see. Oh, go ahead.
Sergeant Major got,
Yeah, Sergeant Major drew first blood. Ooh.
Yep.
I see Megan and a couple of Steves.
I saw all 4 of these people this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And ate enough fried fish to,
Yeah, so Sergeant Major fed an army of people fried fish on Saturday. And yesterday he went out and caught 100 pounds to replace it.
Yeah, and you know what? This has happened more than once now when he fries the fish, okay? He always starts with the beer batter, but then ends with the dry batter that's even crunchier. What I need to do is be patient the next time he fries fish, because I prefer that dry batter.
See, I prefer the beer batter. I really do. But they're both excellent. But I'm a big fan of the beer batter. So I see Dan and Jamie have joined us.
Also, I saw Megan. Megan, I'm still waiting on the pictures. You say you have evidence, but I'm starting to not believe you. So
just for a little bit of reference, this is among the fish we ate this weekend. That's a catfish.
Right.
It's a monstrous catfish. Now, in fairness, it's not the biggest catfish that ever came out of that lake. The biggest catfish I know, is the last I knew on record out of Lake Sinclair was me. It was literally a 6.5 foot, 300 pound. It was a monster catfish.
Sounds like the kind of thing where, like, parents tell their kids stories about, no, it's time to come inside. Stop playing by the water.
Yeah, no, you don't understand. There's a monster. Nah, the monsters aren't real. Oh, catfish. So what are we talking about this morning, Cameron? Apart from fish.
Wait. Whitmer.
There was another acquittal, but yes.
Oh yeah, no, like that. I'm tracking on it. In fact, after everything started to break over the weekend on Sunday, I gave myself a break from the story because it bothers me so bad in so many different ways. It never even should have went to trial. We talk about how shitty the FBI is, but the implications behind the fact that, like, this was obviously just made up out of whole cloth because you needed a villain in the middle of all of the COVID pandemic. Like, as though...
Wait, Whitmer or the January 6th incident? The correct answer is yes.
Yes. Wait, I thought we were talking about Whitmer.
And the January 6th.
Oh.
Because there were acquittals in both.
Yeah.
So here's what we know. Over the week, it just happened last week, end of the week last week. Judge finds former government contractor not guilty in first January 6th riot acquittal. Keep in mind, there have only been 3 convictions. Okay? 3.
And one of them was Red, White, and Woad.
Correct. And I still maintain that he may have exercised some poor judgment, but I don't think he actually did anything wrong.
Well, I mean, like, at least wrong in the sense of, I forget exactly what his sentence was, but he got a few years in prison, you know?
Right.
Like, and you know why? Because he was wearing all that, he was wearing that ridiculous getup.
Yeah,
he was the symbol.
The unfortunate truth is he made himself an easy target for ridicule. And the left went out of their way to make sure that everybody saw that character because he was a caricature of what they want you to believe the right is.
Right.
And let's be clear. The people who are crafting the hoaxes, the baby killing, child grooming, perverts that hate you for being happy and free, that abhor liberty and would prefer to take money from someone at gunpoint over working and earning capital. They want you to believe that people who prefer liberty and opportunity to abortion and child grooming are radical monsters. The key difference between those two peoples are one of them believed that the United States, which is founded in the principle of rugged individual liberty, one of those groups believes that that's a good thing. The other one hates everything that the Constitution and the United States stands for.
Well, it's the same reason that the commies always hate religion. You can't worship more than one thing. You know, one of the most not misattributed, but deliberately misinterpreted is the love of money is the root of all evil, when Jesus says this in the Bible.
Right.
Jesus wasn't saying money was evil, because there are other places in the Bible where God financially rewards people for doing his like Solomon asked for wisdom and God said, "Well, I'm going to make you rich and the king because you prayed the right prayer, buddy." So it's not that, it's when you put something ahead of your worship for Jesus that Jesus was saying was the problem. It could be anything. It could be food, it could be drugs, it could be anything that gets in the way of your worship for Jesus. And I say that as a springboard for the left hates all the rugged individualism stuff, because if you can basically take care of yourself, and if you can take care of yourself, you probably possess the ability to also take care of your fellow man when something goes wrong in their life. If you can do that, you don't need the government anymore. And
Correct.
They need you to need them. Oh God, they are the
want you to want you.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. They're that song "Endless Love," but like the biggest nightmare version of it. Okay, so
Yeah.
anyhow, they need you to need them. Then, but please continue. It just happened to be a thing. It was at church yesterday, and I had all the theological thoughts. It happened.
Jesus. So, D.C. judge on Wednesday found a D.C. judge, on Wednesday found a man not guilty for his alleged role in the U.S. Capitol riot. The first acquittals tried to the
First acquittals tried.
Yeah, the first acquittal tied to the January 6th attacks. Matthew Martin, a former government contractor from New Mexico, told U.S. District Court Judge, excuse me, Trevor McFadden, he thought police had waved him into the building and didn't know he was breaking the law when he entered. Based on video from the scene, McFadden said Martin's claim was plausible and that prosecutors failed to prove his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, when they say based on video from the trial, or from the incident,
It's the same video we've all seen.
clip, but we've seen this video. It does not appear that the police are waving people into the building. It's not a conclusion that a person could draw if you lean your head to the left and squint real hard. It's the only feasible interpretation. A reasonable person cannot look at a video where men in uniforms are moving barricades out of the way and waving and gesturing into a building. If you see that and your conclusion is, oh, these people entered by force and violence against the will of the authority in position with malicious intent. If that's the conclusion you draw from the video where the officers are clearly waving people into the building, you're a liar. You're not wrong. You're dishonest. We've talked about that a lot on this show. One of the big things that's so frustrating about the left in cases like this, and just generally, like, the left isn't wrong. They're not mistaken when they espouse their positions, right? For example, if you hear somebody talking about the grooming stuff that's going on with Disney now, and they say, "Oh, that's not grooming, that's just inclusion." No,
it's literal grooming.
You don't believe what you're saying. You're not mistaken because you're ignorant and you don't understand true things. You understand what the truth is, and you're lying. And that's what happened. That's what's been going on with the January 6th thing, and what makes that so insidious on the J6 situation is not only are they lying, but we've got, I forget the numbers now, but over 100 people have been in jail without hearing or bond, spending a lot of that time in solitary confinement
because of COVID.
Right, and we've heard accounts of them being physically abused by the guards on charges no more serious than trespassing. Mere trespassing. And the fact is, you cannot trespass on public property.
Well, and then going back to Red, White, and Road, so he was locked up. And he did what many people would do in his situation and do the math and say, okay, the only way I'm ever getting out of this room is to cooperate. So he cooperated. And they screwed him. And now that other people are having their cases thrown out, like, this didn't even go to the jury. Like, the judge just went, okay, no, you guys can't do this. Right? I don't even need a jury to look at it. This doesn't require a jury of your peers. This obviously doesn't meet the legal standard. Get it out of my courtroom.
Yeah, what's happening in the Jan 6 case as well as the Whitmer case, the evidence is becoming pretty clear, is functionally akin to a police officer walks into a liquor store, robs the liquor store at gunpoint, and then arrests all of the other customers in the building for robbing the liquor store.
Well,
and we have it on video.
Well, okay. But the thing is like, everybody that tried to cut a deal with the government, it's virtually impossible to overcome a guilty plea. Like, that's usually part of it. It's like, okay, you're going to plead guilty. Are you sure you understand what you're doing? Okay, because we'll let you plead guilty, but you're not allowed to appeal your guilty plea. No matter, and there are all sorts of reasons why. I mean, it's pretty obvious why guilty people would want to claim innocence, but there's actually a whole bunch of reasons why innocent people might be willing to plead guilty just to make something go away and get it out of their life. And man, there are a few people sitting in prison now that supposedly tried to overthrow the government that didn't. Okay? Right. That obviously didn't. Like, these guys weren't meeting to try and kill Whitmer. And, yeah, the people that went down to the Capitol were trying to show their ass a little bit, but that's literally all they were trying to do was to show their ass a little bit. God, and she still looks like a female Bond villain. It just...
She does.
Like... I'll never get over that. That is...
Yeah, so, in other news, you know... 2 men accused of scheming to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer were acquitted by a federal jury Friday, and a mistrial was declared for 2 other defendants after the panelists were unable to agree on a verdict. Daniel Harris and Brandon Caserta were each cleared of a charge of conspiracy, while Harris was also acquitted of knowingly conspiring to use weapons of mass destruction against person or property, possession of an unregistered destructive device, and possession of an unregistered firearm. So, in this Whitmer case, what happened is there were 13 people involved in the conspiracy to kidnap Whitmer, and 7 or 8 of them, the majority, were actually FBI agents or on the FBI payroll. So a few of them were just straight up paid informants. But basically, it looks like what happened. And when I say looks like, I mean we might as well have taped confessions from all conspirators. What happened is the FBI plotted to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer for the explicit purpose, for the sole reason of trying to get a couple of dupes in the backwoods who were drunk and running their mouths about politics wrapped up in it so that they could arrest these men for the crime that they were pretending to commit. And the situation apparently actually got complicated when the FBI agents started trying to push these men to actually go kidnap her and murder her to make a public statement. And they all said things like, whoa,
slow down, buddy.
Whoa. What?
We're cosplayers.
Like, it started with, we want you to take a gun. We think you should take a gun and go blow her away. No, whoa, no, we're not doing that. And then somebody else said, well, hey, we could plant a bomb. You know, if you're not comfortable killing her, we could blow up her house while she's not. Whoa. We don't want to do that. Right? And then all these guys got arrested now. And one of the Whitmer kidnappers.
One of the Whitmer kidnappers decided to cooperate early, and he got like 4 years. Congratulations.
Now, if there's a case there are cases where you can reverse that guilty plea, if you can make the case that the plea was acquired under duress. In the movie, you'll see it dramatized by guy pleads guilty, and then the tenacious detective that just doesn't. I'm just not buying it. Goes and proves that it was actually the guy's crippled brother that did it, and the guy's just covering for him. There is room in the law for something like that to happen. It's incredibly, exceedingly rare. But if we're being honest, if there were going to be a case like that, this could be it. Because what we know here is that the FBI decided to craft a villain narrative. And if the rest of what's been going on between the Russia hoax, the Ukraine hoax, advisedly, when I say the Ukraine hoax, I'm not talking about the current conflict with Russia invading Ukraine. I'm talking about the claims made by the Democrats and their entirely complicit funded state media of wrongdoing by Donald Trump related to Russia or Ukraine. All of which was not only never proven, but actively disproved. You can't prove a negative, but you can prove that an affirmative claim is impossible to have occurred. And that seems like a subtle distinction, but it's not.
Dan Burks asked a question that I myself have wondered. How many other times have they done this? Because there's two pieces to it. Like, apparently, even Russian intelligence tried to warn us about the Tsarnaev brothers, and the FBI was like, huh? What? Huh? And then it comes out later. In fact, every time something especially awful happens, it almost invariably comes out later that the FBI had a jacket on the person and just never did anything. Like the Pulse nightclub shooter.
Yep.
It turns out they knew that guy was thinking about going and killing a bunch of homos, but no, we're not gonna.
Same thing at Marjorie Douglas Stoneman.
Yep.
Same thing at Sandy Hook.
I didn't know
a jacket on that. I don't know if the FBI had it, but there was a jacket on that kid that was just ignored.
But then, so there's that. So the actual threats, what you would in theory expect the FBI to be there and be good for and all that, they don't do. And then the stuff that they do stinks. And stinks bad. Like, doesn't pass the smell test. And pretty early on, the thing with the Whitmer people in particular didn't pass the smell test. There was a bit more mud in the water with the January 6th thing. But like pretty freaking early on, the Whitmer thing didn't make any sense. It was like, okay, wait a minute. So your master plan for like reconquering America is taking out one governor that is a walking meme? Like,
right.
Really? Because that doesn't smell.
And I'm going to go ahead and start buttoning up because I need to get out the door.
I sent you. It's Me More Monday. I sent you a thing in Messenger. We should check out before we get out.
Check that out. But before we get out, so basically, here's what I want to kind of close on is this idea. We've seen what's happening with the FBI. We've seen some similar corruption to a much lesser degree with police departments in general of late. Hannity is constantly saying things like, look, it's the director, it's the upper echelons of the FBI, the rank and file are good guys, they're good cops, but and I know some of them and they're good people. I'm done. No, they're not good. There are no good FBI agents. It's this simple. The corruption at the level that we're seeing it occur, for it to continue to occur, the FBI agents that aren't actively engaged and successfully shutting that shit down are complicit. The FBI is completely wasted. It needs to go away and be reconstituted as an entirely new division containing no one who remains from law enforcement. And I fear that the same is becoming increasingly true of police departments, as we've seen through the pandemic and the BLM riots. They were ineffective, and at worst, they were helping. They were standing by and watching riots occur, and then they were going out and enforcing unconstitutional mandates. I've lost what faith I had in law enforcement. Now when I see law enforcement, the only thing I can think is that at best, assuming that you're not a corrupt instrument for the enemies of the United States of America, wholly owned by China and the Democrat National Committee, the best I can expect of you is when you had a chance to raise your hand and swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution, you chose, instead of deploying and engaging with to destroy the enemies of the United States of America, you chose to raise your hand, take your oath, and then write parking tickets to law-abiding citizens to raise revenue for corrupt government institutions. You are beneath my contempt. So, we'll have a little funny here.
Me More Monday. Oh. but
this. Oh, for fuck's sake! There.
Wait a minute.
You like what I did there?
No.
You said, "Wait a minute." What? Just because I pushed you out, or did you see the eyeballs slide across?
No, it was because you pushed me out. It was like it was a dick move. It was a dick move, bruh.
That is pretty funny though,
bruh.
Way too old for me. Yeah, same.
Man, I was nose coffee when I saw that. I was like, oh yeah, that's going in the show. Me More Monday. See, it's a pun, and because he's not smelling her. And look, and one other thing, real quick, like. Me More Monday, like Nancy Pelosi has the COVIDs, right?
Yeah.
And Joe Biden kissed her on the cheek at Obama's coming home party. Whoa.
So yeah, go ahead, and then I'll share this with the group, and then we'll go away.
And apparently that's not close contact. Look, it is one of the most painful interviews Jen Psaki has ever given, where like she literally tap dances around explaining. I swear actually, like, close contact is defined by at least 10 seconds of close contact. So basically, because the kiss only lasted like a second, it's not close contact. And I'm just like, oh my God. No, honey, no, it's fine. I didn't actually touch that stripper. It only lasted for 5 seconds.
Okay, we're going to close on this little bit of funny. Enjoy. Look here. Give it up.
Women workouts for beginners. 100 sweeps. 4x5 power cleans. 10x15 kids' dinner is ready. Do the laundry, it's dirty.
And I have no interest in this right now. Okay, so... Oh, apparently Steve has to run off and remove a squirrel from the apartment. Good luck, brother. And for the rest of you guys, we love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Ah, wrong button.